Thank you everyone for coming today. I'm Pierre, Alison's brother. Unfortunately our dad couldn't come today, which is why my brother and I were bestowed the honour of filling in for his duties. John had the honour of walking her down the aisle, and that's probably because he's better looking than me and looks better in the pictures. And I got homework. I got to write a speech, so cheers for that. I was worried at first, but let's be honest, no one cares about this speech. It's all about the best man speech, so I'm just the warm-up act. We've got people from travelling quite far. We've got people from Aubusson in France, in Tours, Paris, Bordeaux, Blackpool. Really exotic places, so thank you everyone for coming here today. It really means a lot. Pour mes oncles et mes tantes, merci d'être venus ici aujourd'hui pour célébrer avec nous. Et pour mon cousin, tu parles anglais, donc c'est pas nécessaire pour moi parler français. Pourquoi? If you don't speak French, that was really funny. It was really good. It was really, really good. I'd also like to thank all the staff who've worked today. You've worked tirelessly to make this day go really smoothly. I saw Alison earlier, totally chill, totally relaxed. Nothing about ties or anything like that causing an issue. No, the staff, you've worked really hard. You've kept the drinks flowing. You've made everything look fantastic. Sarah as bridesmaids, you've done an absolutely brilliant job. Rosemary and my mum as well. I've no idea what Daniel's been like, so. You know. Now we go on to the main part of the speech, and this is the bit that I think Alison and probably my mum more so are most concerned about. What's he going to say? Well, the truth is there are absolutely no embarrassing stories about Alison that I can tell. Just none, honestly. So instead of actually trying to come up with some, I just copied and pasted a speech online and just changed the names. Let's see how it goes, because I've not read it yet. I'd like to say I've got so much admiration for the two of you today, for the commitment you've made, for what you've done. Mark, your personality matches Alison perfectly. You're calm, you're patient, you're understanding. You're absolutely made for Alison. So I'd like to formally welcome you to the family. I mean, you've been part of the family for years. You know all of us. You know what we're like, so I've no sympathy for you. It's great to be able to do it formally. I first met Mark when Alison started dating him, and I really wanted to be the protective big brother. The one who would say, no, you're not good enough for my little sister. I really wanted to do that. But the truth is, he's just such a nice guy. He's a genuinely wonderful bloke. I wanted to dislike him, but I can't. I remember being at Butlins talking to you about it and saying, sorry, mate, for trying to give you grief, but we're in Jack's. You probably don't even remember it. But it was just the two of us, and I may have been drowned. But I remember saying to him, you're absolutely wonderful, and the best person my sister could have found. You've been there for me when I've needed someone to talk to, just as a pair of ears to listen to. You've been there when I've had some tough times, and it's that nature in you. You will help all of us, every single member of the family, in a heartbeat. You are there for us, and that's just who you are. You're not trying to put on airs and graces. That's what makes you family. That's what's made you family for so many years now. I was 6.5 when Alison was born, and when you're a big brother. You know, I mean, I fell in love with Alison straight away. The moment I became a proper big brother. Sorry, John. I absolutely fell in love with her. And you do things for your little sister, things that you wouldn't normally do, because, you know, you want to step up and be there for her. I remember, again, one of our Butlins stories, Alison, you really wanted to go and watch a show. You wanted to see a live band, and no one else wanted to take you. No one else wanted to go, so I stepped up as big brother and said, I'll take you. And it's because of Alison that I can stand in front of you all today and proudly say, I have seen, live on stage, the epic pop sensation that is Daphne and Celeste. U-G-L-Y, you ain't got no alibi. You do some not so nice things when you're a big brother as well. There's a story an event that haunts me even to this day. We were in France, staying at our grandparents' house, And Alison and my mum were sat in the garden together. And I went over to where the fruit and veg was stored, and I took the top of a tomato. You know, the green stalk of a tomato? I took that, and I walked over to Alison, and I said, Alison, there was a spider over there, but don't worry, I've got it. And I held my hand there. I've got the spider, don't worry. And she was like, is it there? Is it there? Don't worry, I've got it. It's nowhere, you're safe. She said, don't come near me. At that point, I tripped, launching the spider at Alison's direction. The scream, ladies and gentlemen. The scream haunts me to this day, so I'm genuinely sorry for that. I've done it since then, I'm not that sorry. As we grew up, we got closer and closer. We fought like cats and dogs sometimes. Trivial Pursuit is still banned. But at the same time, we always looked out for each other. No one's had my back more so than Alison. She's always defended me. And I think I've done my very best to always look after you and be there for you. And it's not just me you've looked after. Whenever somebody in the family has something that they need to share, if there's something that's gone on, something wrong, something bad that's happened, we always go to Alison first. We always talk to her first because she will always be there to listen to you. She'll look after you. She doesn't bombard you with advice and tell you what you should have done or what you should do next. She just listens, and she's there. And you don't have to then tell everybody else in the family. She'll do that for you. Honestly, we're glad you do that because we don't want to keep repeating it. So thank you so much for that. I would like us to raise a glass for the happy couple. Jennifer has always been... Sorry, I missed that one. Alison's always been a great sister, and Mark, you're the absolute perfect match for you. You've worked so hard in organising this today, in bringing everybody together, organising this event, and the hard work has paid off. Everyone seems to really be enjoying themselves. Everyone's really happy, and it's genuinely been a wonderful day. It was a beautiful ceremony in this beautiful room with a gorgeous view on this sunny day. Since it's I'm taking my dad's role here. I spoke to Dad and asked if he had any pearls of wisdom that he would like to pass on as a married man to share with you. Anyone who's met Dad, I'm not going to say what it is, what his advice is. He said something about losing and drawing, and something about tying the knot 40 years ago and swinging from it since. But I'm just gloss over. I'd offer you my own advice, I would, but the truth is, you don't need it. You and Mark have been together for, 16 years now. That's longer than most of the marriages that I know, you know? You're always there for each other. So just keep on being yourselves. Keep being the best version of yourself that you are, not just for yourselves, but for each other as well, because it works. You guys work. And you're two of the best people I know, and together you're unstoppable. You've both chosen well. I genuinely wish you a happy and prosperous future together. I'd like to thank Mark for being part of our family, for making our family just that little bit better, because you really do. And Alison, thank you for bringing him to us as well. I always wanted to have a brother who was intelligent and smart. And also thank you for the honour and the trust of giving me this speech. It's been a fabulous day. We're all privileged to be part of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, could we all please be upstanding and raise our glasses to Alison and Mark. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So, I've had a lot of advice from people, very nice people, friends, everybody's here, family, on this speech. I am very nervous, but your advice has been really good. Not good enough, but really, really good. So, yeah, thank you, Pierre. He's sitting right there in front of me. Thank you for such a lovely speech. I didn't actually know you actually felt that way about me. It's too late. So I know what everyone else is thinking about our relationship, and they're thinking, how come it took you so bloody long, Mark? I don't know. I'm just a procrastinator, so sorry, Alison. But we're here now. Everyone's here. Yeah, first off, me and my beautiful wife. We'd like to thank everyone for coming up to Scotland or across, whichever direction you're coming in from. I know that absolutely everyone here has travelled far to get here, and there's been strikes and delays and all sorts, and it's been an absolute nightmare. So give yourselves a little bit of a round of applause for being here today. Pete stole this bit, but I was going to say we've got lots of people from different places here today. We've got people from France, Sweden, the Netherlands, London. Goulburn and Lowton also have to get a special mention as well. And Preston. So I'm going to start thanking people now, so we can try and get this over and done with. I'd like to thank Alison's parents, Sylvie and Jack. Sylvie, let me say how lovely you look today. You know what they say, you can tell by looking at the mother what your wife will look like in the future. And I'm a looking, and I'm a liking. Unfortunately, Jack isn't here today, so thank you to both of Alison's brothers, Pierre and John, for taking on the responsibilities. I know how much it means to Alison and how much it means to me. Sylvie, you and Jack, you've watched me grow up from the young age of 16. I recall the first time that I met Jack, and I walked in to the living room. He offered us a seat, and he offers us a can of Boddingtons as well. I knew he was going to be a good father-in-law. You've both taken me in like your own, and now that Alice and I are married, I'm happy to accept pole position as your favourite son. But honestly, you've raised such a caring, endearing, beautiful and kind daughter, and I'm excited and proud to be part of your amazing family. So are we. Even though you've said many times in the past that I'm already part of the family. Alison wanted me to share some words to you as well on her behalf. I was going to do it in her voice, but I don't think that's a very good start to the marriage. So I'll try and read this as well as I can, okay? Mum, not everyone is lucky enough to have had the wonderful childhood that you gave to me, my sisters and my brothers. You are the reason that we are not just a family, we are all best friends. Now that, I love him for it. Now that I am older, I realise just how much time you gave up so that you could make me happy. All those dance lessons, piano lessons, singing lessons. You came to every show and even had to put up with pretend ones in the house. How on earth you didn't scream at me for turning my microphone and amp on full blast to sing songs all day, I will never know. Maybe this is why you're going deaf. Anyway, the point is, thank you for being the best mum, and I love you very much. On to my parents. I'd like to thank my lovely mum and dad for all their support and enduring my childhood, from coming home with a black eye because I've been fighting at school, to throwing hot chips down the back of a poor unsuspecting bloke's shirt. I may not have been easy growing up, but I think I've matured like a fine whiskey. So I'm sure you'll agree that it's worth the wait. Alison is excited to officially become part of the Bruce clan, and we both appreciate your continued support, especially with how much we rely on you to look after Luna when we go swanning off on our holidays. Not yet. To Sarah Bailey, Alison's maid of honour. Can we have a round of applause? You look really gorgeous today. There you are. You look really nice today, almost as good as Michael. Thank you for being there for Alison whenever she needs a friend, or if she needs to rant because I've been doing her head in. You're also a great friend to me, often being a straight talk when I've needed advice. Thank you for organising her hen parties and for being one of the very few people that Alison trusts enough to show a real weirdness. Above all, thank you for being a best friend. Another clap. To Alison's niece, Sarah, we've watched her grow into a lovely young lady. Thank you for looking after Alison today. It's strange to think that we've known you since you were 3 years old, yet you're far more mature than both me and Alison. I'd like to thank Daniel and Callum, my groomsmen. Thank you for kindly stepping up today, and helping out where you can. You're both awesome brothers who are much smarter than I am, but at least I got the looks. That's pretty predictable, that one. Thank you to the staff who are endeavouring to make sure me and Alison have the perfect day. A special mention goes out to our wedding planner, Kimberly, for all the help she provided and the last minute change of plans that she's had to endure. I hope it wasn't too stressful. Also to our photographer and videographers, it's been lovely working with you all on our wedding plans, and thank you for making it such an easy process, and I'll recommend you in the future. Okay, this is the most important part of the speech because it's about my new beautiful wife. Alison, you look breathtaking today, and I can't stop thinking about how lucky I am to have found my soulmate and how we get to share our love with our beautiful daughter, Luna. Yes, Luna, our dog. Today, I'm going to retell a famous children's tale, Beauty and the Idiot. For those who don't know, I'm the idiot. Alice and I met when we were 16. It's safe to say that the first time we met, she did not like me. I was a bit of an idiot back then. I am, in fact, as much of an idiot now as I was back then. But lucky for me, Alison's very good with the idiot stick and keeps me in check. Fortunately, our friend groups collided, so Alison was forced to spend time with me. Over time, Alison realised that I'm not just an idiot with a pretty face, but someone who she could share her life with and help evolve into a gentleman. I fancied Alison the first day I met her, but on the 9th of December 2006, at the night of a friend's birthday party, I had a masterstroke of genius and decided to play hard to get. This bit's tough. The truth was that I thought Alison was sworn off idiots like me and an ex-boyfriend, Neil. Sorry, Neil.
I did not see that going.
Neither did Neil, sorry. No.
Advice on that.
I felt so bad this whole time, knowing that's in my speech. Because I don't really think you're an idiot. But it'd be nice to have another idiot in here other than me. So, lost my place now. There we go. I found it. Idiot's found his place. Yeah, you weren't invited just for that joke, by the way. Yeah. So, I of course avoided any interactions with Alison for the night. Luckily, in this universe, it didn't go unnoticed, and our best friend Sarah Bailey, the maid of honour, helped kick off mine and Alison's relationship. She really did play the masterstroke of genius that helped me find my soulmate, and I'm forever grateful and in her debt. Of course, I've got really fond memories shared with both Alison and Sarah, like the time we used to watch films, all three of us under the duvet. Just watching films, by the way. Dirty buggers. One time my mum walked in, and I leapt up and fell off the bed, so that she didn't think any funny business was going on.
No, you pushed me off the bed.
Oh, I'm remembering it wrong. But another point for idiot nonetheless. It sounds cliche, but Alison really has been my rock and the most supportive person I have in my life. She quit her job twice so that I can pursue my career, carting her down to London and back after realising Londoners are idiots. Actually, I probably should have stayed there. My most fond memory of London was when Alison and I went to the Stranger Things secret cinema. We were meant to go along with a work colleague and his wife. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, but it ended up being the best date that I think we've ever had. We also went to New York whilst we lived in London, and just to prove to you how much of an idiot I am, idiot here didn't propose to her. Well, some people didn't let me hear the end of that one. For me, the proposal needed to just feel right. It needed to be in a place we loved most, so I decided to do this in Edinburgh. I was nervous all morning, boiling in fact, because it's quite a warm day and I had put extra layers on to hide the annoyingly bulging ring box. Thin ring box, patent pending. That was corny, yeah, I know. I had decided to do this at the top of Arthur's seat. So when we were close, I asked Alison, fancy a casual stroll up Arthur's seat? She said no. Idiot didn't have a plan B. So, ring in pocket, idiot knew there were plenty more opportunity in such a beautiful city. Alison had suggested that we check out Calton Hill, and once we got there, I knew at that moment it was the perfect place to propose to the woman I love so dearly. We walked onto a narrow path just above the monument. I was really nervous, like I am now, and I didn't want anyone to ruin the moment. I got down on one knee, and I forgot everything that I wanted to say, and I blurted out, Alison, will you marry me? I'd like to think that Alison found it endearing, and after the emotion and tears, we sat down on a nearby bench, cuddled and laughed about it. My greatest achievement and best moment of my life. The moral of the story is, if you love someone who has a long enough idiot stick to beat you with, put a ring on it. Alison, I love you, and you've taught me how to become a gentleman and love myself. I am grateful for all the support, hard work, and laughs I get to share with you, and I wouldn't want to share this with anyone else. I want to thank you for the effort that you put into the wedding, because let's be honest, I can't take credit for most of it, probably all of it. Though, There is a cool little audio guest book in the corner that is probably broken. Sorry, it's not idiot-proof. So thank you, Alison. Round of applause for the bride. Before I hand over to my best man, Dan, I just wanted to say how delighted I was when you agreed to be my best man. And I want to thank you for organising the most excellent stag do and always being there for me. Dan and I met at university and quickly became good friends. I've always been able to rely on him to have my back and to give sound advice when I needed it most. Dan and his family are the friendliest and most kind people I've ever met, and I'll cherish our friendship forever. It's time to hand over to Dan, but just in case he shares some outlandish, idiotic stories about me, you should know that he struggles to discern fact from fiction. Thank you.
Good afternoon. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Danny. After my wedding day speech, I vowed I'd never do another. But when Mark asked me to be his best man, I was so honoured I couldn't refuse. He had it all planned out. We went to Manchester for some food and drinks. He took me to the perfect place, Yard and Coop. If you like fried chicken, it's a must. 2 minutes after the food arrives, he turns to me over a bowl of buffalo wings. And he says he's got something to ask me. He gave such a lovely, emotional speech about our friendship. It was so beautiful and touching. Now, I'm not ashamed to admit this. It honestly brought a tear to my eye. Then again, it could have been the hot wings. I met Mark in our first year of university. Well, when I say meet, in typical IT fashion, it was on an internet chat room. I think he had been doing some stalking as I logged into my account late one night and he had a message from him saying he lived near me and didn't want to meet up. I told him I had a girlfriend and I wasn't interested. In all seriousness, it turned out our parents lived a couple of minutes from each other. So when I moved back home during our second year, we travelled into Manchester together, Emma taxis, every day and became very good friends. It was during this time that the Toby Carvery, just off the East Lancs, was booming. We would regularly meet up there, pile our plates sky high with meat and veggies, wolf it down and finish it off with a fudge cake. The staff quickly began to recognise us, and after a while, they stopped offering us the dessert menu. They'd clear our plates away and simply ask, "Fudge cake?" knowing full well what the answer would be. Now, I'm not saying there's a link, but as soon as Mark moves to Warrington with his parents, the Toby Carvery in Lowton goes out of business. Make of that what you will. After graduation, Mark was one of the few friends I stayed in touch with, and we realised we still hadn't met each other's better halves. So we organised a night out at the Comedy Club in Manchester. We had a great night. It was a pleasure to finally meet the beautiful Alison and to see how happy they both made each other. Oh, sorry about this. It's too many pieces of paper, one hand. When I first met Mark, it was clear to me straight away the type of person he was. Selfless, kind, caring. What does this say, mate? I can't quite read your handwriting. Now, Mark always wanted to do things properly. Through research, never on a whim. You first mentioned proposing to Alison several years ago, but Mark being Mark wanted everything to be perfect and had told me about several grand proposal ideas, all of which sounded very romantic. Unfortunately, COVID hit and the lockdowns delayed the whole thing. You can't go from the perfect marriage proposal to popping the question over a Zoom call. When the COVID restrictions were lifted, the proposal was back on. He decided he was going to do it in their favourite place, Edinburgh. Now, it was no surprise to me that Mark decided to propose in Scotland, such a beautiful country, and home of his second love, whiskey. You know where this is going, don't you? Now, Mark and I used to attend whiskey festivals. I say used to because I think we are now unofficially banned by our wives. For those of you that don't know the format of a whiskey festival, you pay a fee to get in and you sample an unlimited amount of world whiskies over a 4-hour period. Yeah, that sounds pretty dangerous, right? Now, most people would head home after the whiskey equivalent of a bottomless brunch without the brunch. But no, not me and Mark. Unfortunately, we don't know when to stop, and we headed out for beers afterwards. Despite the two of us being rather drunk, we somehow made it to the train station and got the last train home. As we arrived, in my drunken wisdom, I suggested we take the shortcut to get home quicker, as it was early November and it was quite nippy. We began walking down the unlit path with the torches on our phones, and we must have been walking along the path for all of 2 minutes, when all of a sudden I hear lots of splashing and shouting. Help! Dan! Mark had somehow managed to walk off the path and had fallen into Newton Brook. Now, the water wasn't knee-high, but Mark was somehow saturated from top to bottom. I rang my partner, Katie, and when we finally got home, we were greeted with unhappy Katie, but a path of bath towels all the way from the front porch to the upstairs bathroom. I didn't even know we had that many towels. After a shower, a change into some dry clothes and a coffee, we ended the night, and that was the last whiskey festival we ever went to. Now, all this talk of whiskey has made me quite thirsty, so I'm going to wrap this up. On behalf of the beautiful bridesmaids, Team Sarah, I would like to thank myself and the groomsmen. I would like to thank Mark and Alison for asking us to be a part of their special day. I know you've both put a lot of hard work and effort into getting everything ready for today, and it's truly amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you all to stand for the final time and to raise a glass to the bride and groom?